Hello and welcome back to another exciting adventure of theaetherband.com. I'm your host, Travis Finley. We're going to take a look at this article written by Andrew Thomas Young and Eric Frappa. Mirages at Lake Geneva, the Fata Morgana. Fata Morgana mirages are frequently seen at Lake Geneva. We show the first photographs of them, including real-time video, and explain their main features, which are due to the very turbulent entrainment zones of capping inversions, especially in valley circulations. Entrainment. The act or fact of trapping bubbles in a liquid. Okay, so talking about trapping turbulence in a zone, right? The band, or as Wegener calls it, the duct. Okay. The term Fata Morgana is widely used for vivid superior mirages, showing rapidly changing multiple images, often mistaken for architectural objects like towers. Series of pilasters, which are columns ornately decorated with capitals at the top. And regular columns, aqueducts, and multi-storied structures such as castles, palaces, monuments, skyscrapers, apartment blocks, or pueblos. These phenomena have never been explained in a fully consistent way. The standard reference is Pertner and Exner, who cited one review but missed another. These works preceded the development of boundary layer meteorology, so their attempts to explain these mirages are obsolete today. And all that boundary layer meteorology really means is that they are analyzing the conditions of the medium with temperature, wind, pressure, and the gradients. Farrell criticized the insufficient and contradictory reports on which this is based. New observations made with modern equipment must be combined with realistic atmospheric models to understand Fata Morganas. The name Fata Morgana was first used for mirages in the Strait of Messina, but they are also seen throughout southern Italy, at Lake Geneva, and elsewhere. And elsewhere being right here in good old Havre de Grace, Maryland, on the Chesapeake Bay, March 22nd, 2021 at 1300. As well, I've captured the Fata Morgana in 2020 January with two different captures. Absolutely stellar footage. And as only 15 displays were reported from 1643 to 1943, so what's that, 260 years? 260 years? Okay, 15 reports in 260 years. While Farrell saw them 400 or 500 times in a few decades at Lake Geneva, we decided to repeat and extend his work here. Unfortunately, some German writers have applied the name Fata Morgana to other refraction phenomena, such as looming and even to ordinary inferior mirages. Now, if you have followed any of my posts recently, that is exactly what I am doing. And I think, demonstrating my reasons for doing that. So we'll see what happens in the rest of this article. I am interested to find out exactly what their criticisms are. Okay? Early, or rather old, Italian observations. The earliest Italian reports are from the 16th century. And sometimes you will see cities and castles and towers and sheep and different colored cattle and images of specters or some other things, but there is no city, no sheep, and not even a thorn bush. In the first account of a specific display, A previous reference included the description, thousands of pilasters, all equal in altitude, distance, and degree of light and shade, followed by castles and towers, colonnades. Manasseh's classical review was garbled in translations. The phrase alleys of trees was actually very tall trees. Manasseh's monograph is more informative than the brief excerpt considered by later writers would suggest. In particular, he notes that Fata Morganas are visible during the months of late spring and summer, the usual superior mirage season, when the water, still cold from the winter, helps produce low-level thermal inversions. Pertner and Exner reviewed the visual observations up to about a century ago, pointing out that the most reliable of the older accounts is certainly Giovine's. However, they failed to correct an earlier error in translating his original report from Italian to German. Charles Dufour discovered, during a year's daily observations, the Fata Morgana displayed occurring at Lake Geneva. All right, so here we got this fantastic. This is exactly what I had in, exactly. Look at all this compression up here. Oh, so I am very, very interested as to whether or not they are going to suggest that the shoreline is up here, because that is my interpretation. This is an inferior mirage. This is dropping the image down. The shoreline is not down here. The shoreline is not being lifted up and compressed up here. So, you know, you're looking at more landscape. Beautiful. This is a beautiful shot. But everything here is compressed. Look at this building right here is compressed. And all down here, exactly what I saw. Exactly what I saw. Okay, but all of these things, this is an inferior mirage, meaning the image is below the erect. Okay, all right. A Fata Morgana mirage at Montreux, Switzerland. The mirage objects are 29 kilometers from the camera at the left side and 29 kilometers, oh, that's just 0.3 of a kilometer difference. The striated zone contains a, there we go. Here we go, everyone. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, listen. This is exactly what my thesis is challenging. The striated zone contains a vertically stretched 3-image mirage. No, it does not. No, it does not. This image is not vertical. It is not vertical. And this is exactly the confirmation that I need to understand that my interpretation of the things up until this point, because I've never seen it declared, this is the first time I've seen that these images are interpreted as being vertical. And so I have just absolute confidence in the fact that I am on the right track. Thank you so much for participating in my channels. Please make sure that you subscribe, like, share, and share, and share. Let's get this information out so that we can have a broad line discussion on these matters. I have been your host, Travis Finley. Until next time. P.S. So I was going to put this image in as a still for you guys to look at yourselves, but it didn't render as good as I would have liked it to, and so I'm just going to try to walk through this really quickly in terms of what I am suggesting now. I have been a bit aggressive with my suggestion that there are no Fata Morganas, there are no superior mirages. That has been intentionally aggressive, and you know, there are certain images that I've looked at where I'm like, ugh, that is just like, that looks exactly like they're describing it. However, what I will say is, in these cases that I'm showing with this image here, with the platform Gale image, with the footage that I just got this week, that footage that I just got this week confirms what I have been saying about the Fata Morgana insofar as my footage is to be analyzed. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is just run through this real quick so that this isn't too tedious. Okay, this is me with my claim. If the limit of the inferior mirage at sea forms the apparent horizon, then is it not plausible for the conditions of the medium to be such that the inferior mirage presents the same effect as that of the superior / Fata Morgana, except superior mirages don't exist? Travis Finley, March 21st, 2021. Okay, over here on the left is the accepted science that this is a superior mirage Fata Morgana. Okay, from the bottom up, this is the erect image. This is the physical location, the erect image. This is the inverted image. It is flipped upside down. And then it is reverted back on itself. Okay? What I've done is I've overlaid an actual photograph that I took of Gina within, I would say, 100 yards. You know, maybe a little bit more, but very, very close. Okay? So we have the physical erect image flipped upside down and then represented back up. Okay? This is the scientific explanation for what we're having here. The physical image is down here, representing itself twice above. Superior mirage. This is my educated guess. This is an inferior mirage with a fully exposed image, inverted and then reverted. So all I'm doing is reversing the interpretation. This up here, this is the erect image. This is an inverted image, which makes this an inferior mirage. And then it is reverted back up. Now, one of the reasons why I put this out here is because of what Andrew Thomas Young tells us about the limit of the inferior mirage. Okay? This is not the location of the limit of the water. The water is not limited here physically. It is optical. It is apparent. The actual water limit is up here. We cannot see it because this is the aether band. All right? All of this right here is where Mistress Aether Band is dancing for us. And I love her. I love her. All right, there we go. That has been another exciting explanation by yours truly, Travis Finley. Until next time.